Welcome back to Income Trading 101. And this is Sunday, May the 23rd. And I'm wanting to make a video just to kind of look at both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so on the right here, you have Ethereum. On the left, you have the chart of Bitcoin. Now, at first glance, these look quite similar, don't they? I like to trade actually with, I've been trading lately with pairs of charts open at the same time just to see if one leads the other, which one is, if you find a leader, then you can obviously use information from one to try to trade the other. Just more information, another indicator for making trades and whatnot. But a lot of people speak of these assets in vacuum, and I just don't think you should. I think there's a lot to be gained from actually watching them together. And man, what a hell of a week. I don't even know how else to say it. I mean, look at this: Ethereum trading sub 2,000, Bitcoin, back in the low 30s. This is wild. So let's start off by just we're going to look at Bitcoin. I'm going to take this out of a minute. We're just going to go with the daily, and have to pull this in quite a bit because of the move that we've seen as of late. Unreal. Now, most of the time, I would go ahead and do things like, moving averages and all of that. But today, and you guys have heard me say that, it's important to do the same analysis. Here, I'll just jump to the conclusion. Moving averages are going to show bearish right now. So what I'm wanting to do is, in taking a look at both of these, I'd love to do a little Fibonacci retracement. We're just going to start. I'm going to start with, where do I want to start? Didn't mean to do that. I want to start with kind of let's see how far back. I'll take it from last March through where we are right now. Just trying to get this a nice look at the low from the low that we hit back in the beginning of the pandemic to the high that we saw just a month or two ago. So let's see, let's escape that. So right now we've had pull this in a little bit. We are at the 50% point, just below it actually. You see the 50% was roughly 34,888 dollars of the move, not of the value of Bitcoin, but of the move that we saw over the last year. And what we're doing now at this point is looking for support, right? This thing seems to be free falling. Love to know how far will it go. So we're between the 50% point, which is 34,888, and the 61.8% retracement level, which is $27,807. Looks like we hit a low earlier this week. Let me see if I can figure out when exactly. So that low was that doesn't, let me tighten this in. So yeah, we hit a low of 30,000. So we actually went below that 50% level. And even right now with Bitcoin trading, where it is right now, the $33,458 moving around. I mean, this is we're just under the 50% retracement level. I'd like to see as well if I can. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. I'd like to see if there's some additional support that we can find, in this current frame. You had both support and resistance, right? The support that happened back in earlier in January, but it really just bounced off of this, went lower, and then went from there. That literally is where we are right now. And sometimes people ask, do we have a target price? If we can hold support, I fully believe that Bitcoin will ultimately push for making a new high. I don't think this is done. It's funny. Sometimes I've made my worst trades when I would freak out and say, "Oh my God, it's going to zero." It's not going to zero. No time soon. But it doesn't mean that this support where we're sitting right now, just below this 50% retracement level, has to hold. We can end up going lower, and so we could end up finding additional. We had additional support there, but let's do this for a second. Let's take this all the way back, because if we take a look back, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this and go all the way back here to that first Bitcoin surge and retracement, and see how low did it actually go from the high. We had, this actually makes me a bit more worried. During that last bearish pullback on Bitcoin, we found support. The bottom was past the 78.6% retracement, right? That means that if we were to have a similar move with Bitcoin's retracement today, then we would be looking at probably a price. Let's go back here. Sorry, I'm trying to get this all expanded the right way so we can see it clearly. And the frames, when you're looking at something that went from 2,000 to 20,000, significantly different than looking at this when it was, I think you guys understand. Let's see, expand it. Expand that there. Okay, almost. So what we're gonna do is actually make that same retracement, and I'd like to see what that 78.6 actually. I think we did a 1 year. Yeah, there we go. From the low. Escape. I want to go from the low to the high and see. Essentially, the question is, if we have the same level of retracement that we saw last time in Bitcoin, where might that level end? Now I can tighten it up a little bit. So 78.6% level would be 17,751. We went lower than that last time. Hopefully we won't do that this time. But what that does show is that this bearish period, ideally we'll find support right around actually where we are now, but that doesn't mean we're going to. So this is quite the move. I believe the phrase is "welcome to the community," because there's volatility here, and we definitely experienced the real side of this this past week. Obviously, there will be support found. Obviously, there will be, I think, another. Honestly, the blockchain and even cryptocurrency side is still just getting started. So there are different people, the naysayers out there. This is it's done. It's over. It's forever. They get the news piece right now as the price really falls off, but that existed last time too. And it's great. People always like to tell you when the party's over, and then they'll go silent again when another bull run starts. So same thing happens in the U.S. equity markets, right? You have a lot of people who have been speaking against this bullish run and saying, "Oh, well, here comes the bear. Here comes the bear. We're going to go lower," and we just haven't. We keep making new highs, and then we pull back a little bit and make new highs again. So, and don't even get me started. Maybe I'll make a video to show the correlation that has stood before this week. The correlation that was very clearly tied between the Bitcoin and like the S&P 500. I think that just has to do with available assets, seeing value in riskier assets. But when you have a pull off like we did this week in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrencies, you definitely are going to have a separation. Thankfully, the market did not pull back the way the equity markets didn't pull back the way crypto did, because that would have oddly enough even wider economic concerns in the U.S. Let's take a look now at Ethereum, which is kind of doing its own thing as well, but very similar in movement. I'm going to kick this over to the 1 day as well and have to do kind of some of the same gymnastics I had to do with Bitcoin. And pull this over, and that is just a nasty chart. I believe the phrase is hodl. At some point you gotta let go, right? All right, so let's just take. Didn't mean to do that. Let's escape. We're gonna choose another Fibonacci retracement just to see if we're getting the same level of retracement pullback here in Ethereum that we saw in Bitcoin. So right now, Ethereum's price is more closely approaching the 61.8% level, which oddly enough, this level, 61.8%, was also valid. Look at that. That was support back in February. This level was support as well in March, and we're approaching it. We're probably going to go ahead and hit that level. 61.8% would be $1,741. If we saw it fall below that 78.6% retracement, which is what we saw in the last bearish market on Bitcoin, that would be sub 1,000 or just approaching $1,000 on Ethereum. So pretty significant drops we've seen. Yeah, a lot of blood on the streets with these prices. At this point, I'm probably right with all of you in saying, like, where will we find support in this market? I thought we had found it, and now we've pulled lower this weekend. So 61.8% level is like 1741 in Ethereum. So that's probably first target level. But if it does fall sharply below that, I would start expecting to see sub $1,000 Ethereum again. But the good thing, this is happening quickly. There's still so much advancement, so much innovation in the space that I'm not one of the guys that would throw crypto, throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just another reset, and this space will continue to thrive, I'm certain. So I am on a few things holding on for dear life, and on others I'm paring back, just out of wanting to be somewhat cautious. So that's the joy of crypto. That's the joy of trading, first off, but certainly crypto trading will test your perseverance. But anyway, hey, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Definitely, if you have any comments, feel free to leave some comments. If there are levels that you're looking at right now that you think are really valid for this pullback, and finding support, like arguably just like Bitcoin, Ethereum is sitting right around support levels right now. And support that we saw back in April. This was resistance, back here in March and and yeah, late February or mid February, but it's strongly approaching that 61.8% retracement level. So I'm I will not be surprised if we do at least go down to 1741, possibly below that, and hopefully we'll find some support soon. So hey, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys subscribing and watching and commenting. And yeah, let me know what you're thinking too. The joy of technical analysis I use to try to get a better handle, a better understanding of what's going on. But it's not, this is not law by anything. It's just ideally an indication of where things might be heading. And, I appreciate your views as well. So that's it. Have a great weekend. Happy trading.